Hi guys, good morning. It's Colette and it is Sunday, December 8th. I wanted to do a quick video and share some of my squash blossom necklaces with you guys. And we'll try to make this shorter than the last video. This first one is one that I purchased around 1985. It's got lovely pieces of natural coral and it's not signed, and it's well constructed, but it's not old, 30 years old maybe or so. I did have to restring this because I was at the horse races and maybe one too many mimosas, but I broke it. Did not lose any beads, fortunately, but there you go. Okay. This next one I wear, and I wore a lot. This one is beautiful. Don't know what kind of turquoise. You can see I paid $600 back in the 80s. Maybe I need to go this way. I don't know. Anyway, it's signed Tom Willett, and it's beautiful. So, 30 years ago, something like that. There are no blossoms here, but it is still considered a squash blossom. And it is beautifully done. Strung on foxtail with the typical Native American clasp. Okay, let's keep going. Here's a really pretty one and very old. This one would have been for a girl, a young girl. You have a sand cast nausea with cold chisel marks and sort of primitive terminals at the end. I think I'm gonna hold it this way. Be still. Sand cast and Navajo pearls all the way up, ending in same type of clasp. And this has not had any restring. They were doing sand casting in the 1800s. I think some people think that sand casting was a later introduction into silversmithing. It wasn't. They were doing it in the 1800s, late 1800s. This next one is probably the 1900. I do not have the squash blossom that belonged to Claire. I'm not sure if my mother's sister has it in Denver, possibly. She does still have the concho belt, first phase concho belt. But, who knows, 100+ years ago, that squash blossom that Claire had on certainly may not have survived. This one, whoa, that's not working out. Okay, this one is probably 1900. It's got hair on everything. 1900, 1910 at the latest. You've got a Beautiful nausea with kind of a primitive soldered tab on the back with a gorgeous piece of turquoise. Hope we're focusing. These, now I'm itching. Get it. These beautiful squash blossoms are all of this is hand done. No manufacturing in any of it. And this is absolutely gorgeous. They have, when they constructed it, they had 2 crescents. And then in the center, this would have been a hand-twisted piece of silver wire. And then they soldered the terminal ends beautiful. And it is still on its original wire. Let me show you the clasp. So on this one, 1910-ish. All handmade beads. I showed that one. This next one, whoa. Let's see. This next one, could be 1900, would be my guess. Even, I think a bit earlier than the one that we just looked at. I'm not sure why I'm not. To me, it doesn't seem like we're focusing as well. Again, you have 2 crescents with the terminal ends having a crudely set, beautiful piece of turquoise. You can see around here, the cold, let me see if this light helps. No, I don't know. You can see the cold chisel marks. This was all done with a chisel. And then each of these beads were handmade. The squash blossoms themselves, you can tell there's nothing uniform about the petals. They are all done by hand. And actually they're quite substantial. I love that. I love them all. Here is a nausea that I bought, planning to do something with it, some type of creation when the spirit moves me. It is sand cast. It's got a pretty piece of turquoise. Don't know what kind it is. But it's very pretty. More work in this one where they soldered all of these points and put an inner circle. It is signed. It's an enhancer, which is really nice. So it can be put on a set of whatever you want. Desert pearls, I think they call them now. I bought a strand of desert pearls not long ago, and this would go beautifully on it. The early, very early nauseas, pre 1900 and around 1900, the terminal ends would end in a very primitive hand. And when I know they're reproducing those now, but if you find an early nausea with a primitive hand on each terminal end, then that's probably 1900-ish. This one is signed on the back, but that's not old, but it's pretty. Sand cast. This next one, it's got me a little stumped. And I'll show you why. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at that turquoise. And I'll say again what I said in the last couple of videos. You can look at turquoise and say, oh, that's this, or that's from that mine. You cannot. You can say it looks like it, but unfortunately, there's a lot of people that say, oh, that is this turquoise or that turquoise. When in truth, mines produced, one mine would produce, you know, maybe 20 different looking turquoises. It just depends. It's not one mine didn't produce this and another mine this. Probably the only one you might be able to say that about is Lander Blue, and that mine yielded only about 100 pounds of turquoise. It was tiny. So I have no idea. I'm always willing to venture a guess, but does it really matter? No, it doesn't. Unless you have Lander Blue, then it does matter because that's $400 plus a carat. Okay, what's got me stumped about this one is there's a stamp on the back, and then there is a name, F-O-R-A-S-T-E. 925. And there's a stamp, and the word sterling is on there with the N backwards. So it's interesting. It is old. The clasp is original to the piece. A lot of patina. It possibly could be the beads, and the blossoms themselves look very old to me. So it could be a recreation from remnants. I don't know. But it's beautiful. Simple. So, I mean, you kind of, it's sort of like, identifying turquoise is kind of like the chain of command in business, or in my case, nursing. You got to go to the person who went to the person before. You have to be able to document each step of that turquoise's journey. That's probably rarely ever achieved. Okay, let me show you the one I'm wearing. This, okay, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Hang on. Nope, not good. This, I do have the documentation on. This is Morenci. And I know that because this is a piece that I bought from the man whose parents bought it with the provenance in New Mexico, probably in the 60s. So my guess is this one is probably 1940s, maybe 50s. This is called box and bow style. Here's your box, and inside is the bow. Beautiful piece of turquoise. Let me take it off. Maybe not. Okay, I'm not gonna fight with it. But anyway, that is gorgeous. Sand cast. Okay, and from the same man came this belt that his mother and father bought in New Mexico, and that's all Morenci. Concho belt. You've heard me talk about first phase concho belts. My grandmother had a first phase concho belt that the Navajo had gifted her when she was a Fred Harvey girl. That belt is still in our family. So, it's beautiful. I'm going to share 2 more pieces, 3, and then we'll call it, that belong to my mom. And one of these was in a short, and it's this one. My mom bought this for my stepfather in about 1970-ish in New Mexico. And I did find the paperwork on it, and it is Sleeping Beauty, signed, and has a hallmark. It's gorgeous. It's a very large, my stepfather had large hands. But it is in the rough. It's a nugget of Sleeping Beauty. And it's beautiful. All right, this next one, not sure when my mother bought it. Not sure where she bought it. And it is beautiful. It's not really native style. So I'm kind of a little puzzled. It is, let me put it on the bust. Okay. It's lovely, absolutely lovely. This is all sterling silver. If you look at the back, you can see a lot of the host stone here. And all of these gorgeous beads strung on a hand knotted with a little sterling clasp. It's beautiful. Don't know what mine, don't know who made it. I don't think it has it's only got a sterling mark. But it is gorgeous. And then one more thing. I mean, we're off of the squashes right now, but this one she wore a lot. And I would guess it's maybe Sleeping Beauty. She bought this probably in the 70s. It's a brooch that is signed Feeney, F-E-E-N-E-Y, with a funny mark under his name. And it's beautiful. I think Christy sold one in a sale or two ago that was very, very similar to that. Okay, let's see if I have anything else. My nose is itching. I think that's all for today. I really appreciate all the positive responses and the commentary. And as always, if you have knowledge of something that you can enlighten me on, I'd be more than happy to hear it. I love learning stuff. Oh, that's why my nose is itching. This has got me totally stumped. This cuff. I did not show it in the last video. Okay, look at the underside. I have never seen this much patina on a cuff. You could almost scrape it. Of course, you never would, but it's just beautiful. All natural turquoise. It's big. I mean, it was certainly a man's cuff. The interesting thing, I'll tell you, a couple things have me stumped. There is a hand-scribed name on the inside, Joe Padilla, and then under it, it says Alamo. Now, does that mean that's who made it? Certainly, this isn't, I mean, I would never, the Alamo was in 18-something-36. Does that mean that's where he lived at a later date? I don't know. The tooling around the edge is all cold chisel. None of it is uniform. Every stone is slightly different. So all of those bezels were made, I think it's cat hair making my nose itch. All of those bezels were made specifically for each stone. And some of the stones are turning green. I just would love to know the story that it wants to tell. So maybe one day I'll put the pieces together. But thank you for joining me. And there is Sophia. Hello, beautiful. Hi, Sophie. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. Hope everybody's getting their trees put up. And I will try to put together a video in a week or so. And we'll take this journey one day at a time. Thank you all. Please hit the thumbs up. I think it does help me. That's what everybody says. And share out my channel. I also do a side hustle, slimpdesigns.com. If you'd like to go there, email me, whatever. And if I can grow my channel a little bit at a time, then I might consider doing a live sale. But that's not on my immediate agenda right now. I'm just enjoying this journey of sharing some of my things with you guys. And I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.